Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for F1 Manager 2023. As we continue our run here, this is our hard mode run. Hardest difficulty on both the AI and the design for the AI. I guess it's the race difficulty and the AI design for the AI, I should say. We're doing this with Alfa Tauri this time, and we did pick up some points in our last race. We're up to 5th place, 14 points overall. Both of our drivers got into points in both the sprint and the actual race itself. So things doing okay. I mean, we only need to be 8th or above. And so because we've got points, and we probably have enough points to be 8th or above, quite frankly, because even 8th has only got for 1 point. McLaren and Alfa Romeo both have 0. We're going to start switching everything over to full-on research. We want to make sure our car next year is just a step above. If we could do a little bit more design and try to get a few more points this year, but honestly, more points this year isn't going to help us that much unless some of these other guys start to catch up a little bit. So we do have a spot available for research right now. So I think that's exactly what we're going to jump into. We're just going to start getting into some research for all of these parts. A lot of these are going to have some technical changes. About 10%, I believe, is the last week. That is correct. So we at least want to kind of at least counteract the technical change negatives in a few spots and kind of go from there. We do have new hours that just popped up, so we can be able to put all those hours into a few parts to help us out a little bit. So I think what we're going to do is, I think we get 5 rounds of hours. So I think we're going to do hours for every part. At least one set of hours for every part, except maybe the side pods. Because even though the engine cooling is great, I think these help us the least compared to some of the other ones that will give us some really good stuff. So honestly, I don't know if there's any reason not to just start at the top and work our way down. We'll skip side pods when we get there. So I think we're just going to grab this. We're going to go put all of our hours into this. By the way, I should have mentioned this when I started. The very first episode of this playthrough I did as a live stream. So I will make sure I link or I put the live stream VOD. It is on YouTube, obviously. You can go find the VOD on YouTube. I'll put that into the playlist with this one. So the very first one, it's a 3-hour episode because it was a live stream. From this point forward, it will just be recorded, as you can see. Obviously, they fixed the research sliders with one of the recent patches. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So this is our chassis. Chassis, I've written down some stuff. I think the biggest thing we want to focus on with chassis, man, we're only at 40% expertise. Is just airflow middle. It's going to give us our biggest bang for our buck. We're still going to get a little bit, I believe. Yeah, we're basically going to get enough from the CFD and wind tunnel hours to essentially get rid of the expertise reduction that we lost for the drag reduction engine cooling. And then we're going to gain 10% above where we were before with airflow middle. So I think this is a good start. We'll get this done. And yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we want to do here. No, I mean, I think that's it. I think this is going to be a perfect car for us, or perfect piece for us. It's really going to focus on that medium speed, high speed, and we're going to get a lot of stuff from this because, again, we're going to be counteracting that entire, what am I trying to say? Regulation vote. We're only going to put one engineer. We usually do one engineer for research, and that will be fine. So we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got one extra engineer available. Probably put it into the rear wing here just because it's the one's the longest right now, and that will speed it up just slightly. And that'll look pretty good. And as these start coming up, we'll start doing more research. I think if we start research right now, which we are obviously doing, we're going to be able to get a really, really good car for next season. We just got to survive this season. That's going to be the most important thing. Just survive. All right, training schedule. I mean, we would still love to continue doing, dropping that pit time. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get it close to 2 seconds. These changes they've done is just insane. All right, we're going to keep trying because if we can, that'd be amazing. But something tells me that this is not going to be easy. Okay, that actually drops us all the way down to weary already, so get that out of the way. All right, we're right at 50%, and we actually gain some pit stop time. This is not enough to counteract the degradation that we get. It's so bad. I'm not sure if I'm a fan. I really enjoyed pushing the pit stop times down big time. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of whatever they did to make that much harder. And maybe we need to stop worrying about. Maybe we stop making these guys this tired and fix our mistakes as well. Because obviously we've had mistakes in the last couple of races. Right now we're sitting at 38%. Well, because that's obviously because we're weary. But I'm going to get rid of that for sure. Still weary. Right at 50%. But on the weary side of 50%. So we definitely need to take off one of these. I should check the one above here as well, just to make sure that one. Nope, this one's weary as well. So we got to get rid of this one. All right, so that one is no longer weary, it's just tired. Only a 50%, I mean, 50% chance to take a mistake is not great. We definitely need to push that down. Look at this. Cumulatively, by the time we get here, we have only... Okay, we shaved off 1/100th of a second. We do another one? No, that puts us into weird. Yeah, that's just crazy. We are just not gaining any ground here at all. All right, this one's tired just the way it is. And again, we're not gaining any ground. We're just mitigating whatever degradation we were going to see before. This is tough. Maybe we can't get the times down anymore. Maybe they've... I mean, by the time I got the patch that fixed all this, or I say fixed all this, broke all this, maybe, I had already gotten my times down sub 2 seconds in my Alfa Romeo save. And so obviously the degradation from those was not enough to lose that 2 seconds. So I wonder if it's just not possible anymore. It does not feel possible to do anything worth anything at this point, which is really weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. We need to get probably no lower than 29%, it looks like, by the time we get to this day, just because I don't know when the next race is after that. So let's rest a couple days here. So we're at 44%. We might not be able to do any training here if we're going to try and play it safe here. I mean, maybe we can do half day. I mean, it's not much. It's not going to make much difference. Yeah, it looks like we do a half day and we'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling like we're going to be able to get our times down. And it could also be partially because of our director, right? But our directors, I mean, maybe we just need to get a higher aptitude. No, I don't think we do. You know what? We just need somebody who's got better training. I hadn't even worried about training before because, like I said before, it was just so easy to get the times down. But now maybe we do need some training done. Huh. I mean, we could bump our guy up with training a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe we need to get him some training. What's training and... Maybe training and processes, just so we don't get fatigue. Just bump those up instead. I mean, I like the aptitude, but we can't even get close to the aptitude currently. All right, we'll go with something like that. See what that does for us. We have done some scouting, right? And we were going to see if we can get us a new, I believe it was a head of aerodynamics. Yeah. We talked about that at the end of last episode. Or at the end of the stream. Because, yeah, we grabbed this Dirk de Beer here guy. And he's got pretty decent stats across the board. And would be somebody we would probably want to negotiate with. Currently, he's on a $2 million contract. So we'll go ahead and propose a contract with him. I'm going to bump it up as much as we can. Immediate start date, we'll pay the break off. And then we'll give him a sign-on bonus. I'm tempted to just give him whatever, but we'll give him a little bit extra. Let's go up to 2.4. 240 here. Let's see what that does for him. Something tells me he's going to say no. We might have to get close to like 3 mil before we get him. He actually likes everything except the salary. Okay. Well, let's go to 2.6. Wish would tell us what he's asking for. I wish there was actual negotiation here. Not just no. Really doesn't like that. Wow. Okay. Down to medium. We'll go 2.8. We may have to circle back to him later if we can't get him for a reasonable number here. Wow, you're really... just tell me what you want, buddy. Tell me what you want, and we'll tell you if we can do it. I think he's about to decline, which is... It's not the end of the world. We can circle back to him later. And we're giving like almost a 50% increase in his current salary. That's massive. I would love to get a 50% increase. Okay, there we go. He's not super happy, but it was enough with the other things to go ahead and grab it. So, all right, we'll go ahead and bring him in. I think he's going to be worth it. He's a good upgrade of what we had. So there we go, 87. And then we were looking at a technical chief as well, I believe. So we got a little bit of money. So I think we can go ahead and do this investment now. I think Dan Fallows would be the only one to be like worth it at an 85. Could also try to wait and see if we can get one of these other guys. But I still don't think we're going to get Mercedes, Ferrari, or... No, there's no way. This is the best guy, not Mercedes, Ferrari, or Red Bull. So we might eventually get one of these, but I think for right now, we're going to be happy with this guy. Current contract is 1.8. Okay. Definitely want him for as long as we can get him. But on the sign-on bonus, we'll give him same kind of thing. We're going to give him a little bit of a boost. Probably have to pay about the same amount as what we paid for the other guy, honestly. All right. He likes everything except the salary. So, you know, we're just going to go up to 22.5. Let's kind of speed this up a little bit. All right, we'll keep at it. 2.5. That's literally like a lot of money, my friend. It was 50% more than you got right now. Still no. So you won a lot. All right, 275. And this will be our last chance with him. And then we'll have to circle back around to him if he doesn't like this. Okay, he liked that. Good. And this will cost us 1.5. I forget how much it's actually going to cost us, but I think we've got enough for it. Yeah, this will be fine. Cost of break contract, buyout fee, signing bonus, 2.2. Just get him in here. So that way we can just start making sure we get all the development and everything we possibly could want. I mean, these are a couple pretty good guys. We might go look at sporting directors just to make sure there's nobody that we better, especially now that we know how important this training aspect might be and things like that. So I think we'll go look at some sporting directors as our next kind of scoutings. Or we're not going to get, what am I saying? We're not going to get Red Bull. Anybody that's actually open. I mean, going from 85 to 89 is not huge, but it might be enough. I think we will go ahead and scout you. And then I think we'll scout this 89 as well. Because surely we could steal McLaren's away if he was good enough. And then I think we're also going to go look at some race engineers. This first season is really just going to be about getting ourselves built up as much as we can. And we're going to ignore Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari, I think. Aston Martin looks like we could probably steal. And I think we've taken him on our Alfa Romeo save, come to think of it. So we'll do some detailed scouting here. And then the Alpine guy here. I think, did we get him too as well? It seems like he looks familiar. So we'll look at him as well. Couple guys that we can steal from others and use up our scouts here. Good things. All right, I'm happy with all that. Race is in 4 days. By the way, I just want to call out how good basic painkillers are. By that I mean just ibuprofen and Tylenol. Because I had 2 teeth yanked out of my face today. My wisdom tooth down here, and then the tooth right in front of it. Because the wisdom tooth grew I mean, I have never taken my wisdom tooth out or anything like that. And the wisdom tooth, I guess, grew at enough of an angle that it kind of made the tooth in front of it weaker. And so when I bit into something hard, like a food the other day, or not the other day, it's actually been a few months, it just completely chipped off the tooth. And so it's been sitting there and finally started hurting in the last few weeks. So I'm like, I was going to wait till January because I actually don't have dental insurance. So I'm going to wait till January so I can get my dental insurance reinstated with my job. And it just started hurting too much. I was like, nope, we're gonna go ahead and go to the dentist and get this done. So they took care of that today. And I've took whatever they normally say, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So far, so good. I mean, at least I can feel my face now. It was numb for so long today, obviously, because they numb that up and they just yank those things out. And I can feel my face now, so I know that the painkiller, the numb killer or whatever, numbness, whatever. What am I trying to say? The local anesthetic is wearing off. It's literally just ibuprofen. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel a little bit of pain here, but I think actually the most pain I feel is my jaw because I had to keep my jaw open so wide for so long while he was in there yanking stuff out. My jaw is what hurts. It's not that part yet. So just, I don't know. Probably more information you guys need to know, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that, I'm not dying right now. I mean, I've had surgeries done and stuff like that. I've had sinus surgeries and things like that. Those usually hurt for a while. I'm actually going to say one driver hits Q3. We're going to gamble. And I'm actually going to say both drivers hit Q2. We're still early enough with our fresh parts that the other teams probably don't have fresh parts as well. A lot of good parts. We're going to say we're still going to, we're going to go 12. One driver gets top 12. Maybe not necessarily points, but we're going to see something like that. I'm going to gamble a little bit here so we can get a little bit of money just while we have potentially better parts than everybody else right this second. Now, we might be dropping down to those other engines, though. I just thought of that. We'll see how we do in qualifying. If we do okay in qualifying, then we might be fine. But if we don't do well in qualifying, then... Because we'll use the better engines for qualifying. If we use the better engines and we still do poorly in qualifying, then that's fine. Oh, never mind. I should have checked the weather. As you guys know, rain is my Achilles heel. All right. I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and do practice and qualifying, and I will bring you guys back in a moment. All right, we're back. We made it to Q3. We got 9th and 10th, and that's just because of me. I made a mistake. I tried to sneak in a lap of enters before I came back in and swapped to softs at the very, very end, just so I can get a little bit of their confidence up, you know? And by the time I got back in, I just didn't have time to switch to the softs. And everybody else went out on... They just waited until the softs. They only ran one out lap, basically, one set. And so they were able to obviously get better times, because there's no way we can get good times with enters. So it's fine. We made it to Q3. I didn't really care. I was trying to game it to the positive, and it just ended up backfiring, right? But we're still 9th and 10th, and I'm okay with that. So not a great move. It looked like we had time to get it in, but it just wasn't quite enough time, unfortunately. All right, let's check some reports real quick. A 22-second pit stop. Yeah, I mean, softs and mediums are close. Mediums and hards are further apart, so... Cool, all right. And we are going to have rain, so any stretch we plug in here is just going to be kind of thrown for a loop no matter what we do. We're probably going to keep running these good engines, though, because we actually did okay. I mean, other than my mishap, we were actually, I think, 5th and 6th or 5th and 7th, something like that, in Q1 and Q2. So we'd have been top, 5 or 6 with at least one driver had I not messed up the what we did. So I think we could still kind of push for what we want to do here. Anyway, what I'm looking for this. What I'm looking for. Okay, we're definitely starting off on softs, or it's not starting off softs, but starting off on a not wet tire is what I meant to say. It looks like we probably just go enters, is my guess, for pretty much the entire rest of the race. So most likely that's going to be mediums. We need to get to lap 20, and mediums will get to lap 20 even if we're pushing. I'm tempted to just do hards and push hards, though, because what if it doesn't come at lap 20? What if it's delayed, Whereas if we do hards, let's do this and push that, we can make this go all the way to lap almost 30, actually. And then we can just come in out. I think we're gonna come in up for enters. I don't know if we're actually gonna push them, but I just kind of want to get that graph on there. Something like that. I mean, it's obviously gonna have to play it by ear, so we're just gonna plug in something that looks balanced and figure out what that's gonna look like. I think hard is gonna be the way to go. I mean, watch. Here's what's gonna happen. If I go hards, that means the rain will start at lap 10, which means we could have gone softs. If I go softs, it means the rain will not start until lap 30, which means we had to go hard. So whatever I pick, the opposite's going to happen, because that's how the rain works for me. So that's just the way it is. We just have to live and accept it. So I think this is our most conservative strategy. And by that, I mean, we can do the most flexibility with this strategy. Because even if we have to pit the hards early, I mean, at least we're staying above certain, smaller plateaus, by the time we pit in. So like we'd be above 50% if it came earlier, things like that. So I think this is still the right strategy. That's not what I wanted. I want to do that, and we'll go with that. So plug both of those in. We'll keep the engines on there. Obviously, drivers at the very beginning here, we're definitely going to be... I mean, we're going to be slow at the beginning because we're on hards, and everybody else, I can almost guarantee you'll be on softs. The best thing that could possibly happen to us, and again, the AI knows exactly what's going to happen. They're perfect, and we're not. I'm just kidding. I'm not salty about rain at all. The best thing that could happen for us is that the rain comes late, maybe lap 25, and all the other drivers went out on softs, and they have to pit in before they can get to the rain tires. So that would be the best thing to happen. I'm very, very highly confident that's not what's going to happen. Whatever works best for the other drivers is what's going to happen. This is basically how it's going to work out. That's okay. We'll get through this race. I think if we can just get a few more points in this race, that's all we really need. I'm not gonna overstress whether or not we can actually because I'm guessing there's more mediums than I expected. There's a lot of mediums, so they're actually gonna be able to make it pretty far. All right, well, I'm going to bring you guys back once we get to probably the first pit stop of the rain or whatever. Whatever happens first, you know. Hopefully those happen at the same time, but we'll bring you back when we get a little bit closer. All right, we're back. We're on lap 20. This is when we thought the rain would come. It looks like it will get delayed a little bit. Again, the more it delays, the better that is for us, because we do have tires that theoretically will last, you know, maybe a bit longer than these, maybe a smidge, not a lot longer. It might work out perfectly for these guys on mediums. Oh, we got a red flag. Never mind. Well, okay, if we're getting a red flag, then then it doesn't matter. The strategy is completely irrelevant now, because by the time we come out, it will be raining. Which is unfortunate. So it will be damp, light rain. 3 minutes after restart, it'll be 80% light rain. So yeah, we're going to have to swap out for our enters, which, I mean, I guess at the very least it equals a playing field. Basically means our strategy was not worth even trying. And it looks like we will be running the rest of the race. So this is it. This is literally how it's going to be. We'll do the best we can. I'm not expecting much from this, to be honest. I think 8th and 10th will probably be about where we end up. I guess for the beginning here, we can full deploy, battle assist, and then just go ahead and push for sure. I mean, it's still low enough on the dampness that I don't think we're too worried about that. Everybody is also out on inners. Okay, cool. Come on, Theo. Yeah, I moved up to 9th. Can you hold on to it? Yes, you can. Sonoda moved up to 7th. So, you know, decent points if we can keep both of those in, you know, where we want them. Sonoda's up to 5th now. Wow. Been impressive. And we're not going to have DRS anymore. Not while the rain's going. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. We do have some of the best acceleration in the field. Not counting Red Bull, I think. I think they're the only team that has either the same acceleration or close to it. But at this point, it's really just about raw passing ability from our drivers themselves. Nice to see Theo move up a little bit, but don't think it's going to happen. Not going to get fastest lap or anything like that, but that's okay. All right, well, I'll bring you guys back if anything crazy or exciting happens. Well, Sonoda was in 5th and then locked up and dropped all the way down to last. So, yay. That is, I don't think there's any way he catches this back up. Don't think that's even remotely possible. Really unfortunate. We'll go neutral here. We are going to get, apparently a period of dry. Actually, with enough time to swap to soft. So, I still don't think Sonoda gets anything, but just, man, I can't believe. And the fact that he locked up is one thing. It's whatever, right? It's because we're so close to tight together that his lockup, he couldn't get back out on the track until literally everybody passed him. Obviously, if it was more spread out, you know, as a race normally would get to, he wouldn't have lost quite as many spots. But it is what it is. Really nothing we can do about it. He passed one person. Good for him. I mean, I can't imagine there's any remote possibility that Tsunoda can get back into points. Which is really sad, because again, he was 5th place. Really just doing a great job. We can have enough tire to get to the end here. Why is that inaccurate? Okay. I did not realize that bar is inaccurate. That's annoying. The water's starting to drop off a little bit. That is extremely annoying. Wow. Okay. I mean, I get Tsunoda's because he locked up. Boom. That's fine. I don't understand why this... Maybe it's... I don't know. I actually don't know what that... Like, what was it? What does this bar even mean? If it's that off. was going to say maybe it means what it's going to do on dry track, but no, on a dry track, if you're pushing inners on a dry track, it's even worse. So it has to be a wet track to even stretch that far. Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're about under 2 millimeters now. And it's dropping. I mean, we really need it to drop big time here so we can get onto those softs. Yeah, we're just, I don't know. Wet tracks, wet races are just the ones that I need to just, I need to find the skip button for. Just like go sim it for me. I don't even want to watch it. It's too depressing. I mean, it's going to be consistently dropping for the next bit, so maybe Sonoda pits in. I mean, Theo's already passed it, basically, right? He's right there somewhere. He's about to get past it. Maybe we pit Sonoda here. Get him out on some softs. See if we can get a little bit of a jump here. But because I'm pitting him, you know exactly what's going to happen is it's going to pause at like 1.02 or something like that and be technically wet. Or technically damp. And then we'll go ahead and hit you as well. We're going to go ahead and have you guys attack with whatever you got left. Do a little bit of deploy. Attack. Deploy. Now, Sonoda is going to be one of the first on softs. It's not going to make up much time because these guys are going to pit real quick. But, you know, it's not bad. And obviously we should be able to push these all the way to the very end. We should. Yep. Still pushing the fuel too, which is good. Not see you run out, my friend. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, we were going to hold on to fastest not very long. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what we do here. I mean, Theo barely going to hang in there. I mean, Sonoda moved up a couple spots. It's just that lockup. Man, so depressing. Oh, well. I mean, I guess it could have been worse. He could have crashed and cost us a bunch of stuff. I mean, if Theo can still get 2 points here, then it's something. And it looks like he might be able to. He's got enough of a gap between him and 10th place. But, yeah, I don't know. Just, you're in 5th. Alright, this one, let's just speed through this. Not really much to see here. So you can go back to neutral at this point. I don't think Theo's going to catch 8th, unfortunately. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What happened? What did you do? Okay, you crashed. Or somebody crashed into you. Because of course they did.
Not entirely sure what happened, but it seems like it was Logan Sargent. Here's the replay. Now this is Logan Sargent.
Gee, thanks, dude. Gee, thanks. I mean, not that we had a chance to catch anybody, but still. Damage to our front wing. It's just more money out of our pockets. I mean, he took the penalty, but he's not a guy that we're really competing that much against right this second, so him taking a penalty doesn't really help us that much.
And oh dear, That's Max Verstappen.
Verstappen crashed, but he's not enough to make a difference, it looks like.
And there's been quite a crash.
Really? Oh, no, never mind. He's seeing him dropping back now. Okay. Way to go, Alfa Romeo. Just clipping him while he's just down already. Alright, we are going to have Theo start pushing. Oh, I didn't realize his tires were that burnt out. Why? It looked like he was going to make it. Oh well. I guess he was in traffic for longer than I expected. That's alright. I mean, we got a lap and a half. We just got to push it. We'll go ahead and push here as well for just a little bit. And we'll wait till Tsunoda gets down to the other end here, and we'll have him push a little bit as well. Gotta keep an eye on the fuel, but other than that, should be okay. Moment it blips to 0. In fact, we're not going to push it. I mean, 8th place. I mean, it's an extra point because of Verstappen crash, so yes. Could have been more. Tsunoda. Alright, well, we got it done. I hate wet tracks. It's just the bane of my existence, but still picked up some points, so can't go too wrong with that. And we didn't crash majorly. I mean, we did lose our front wing there, which is always annoying, but nothing super crazy. That gives us a little bit more of a gap over Haas. I mean, Haas picked up 6 points, so they actually, never mind. So actually, they closed a gap on us. Never mind. But we slowed down that a little bit. Honestly, us slipping to Haas would not be a problem. It's really Alpine, Williams, and McLaren, and Alfa Romeo, all these 4 down here that we would care about. Us slipping down to 6th, even 7th place would be fine. So we're still good. Pit stops, we did have the fastest pit stop apparently, and then the 8th fastest. So getting some good points there. We actually got the most points of anybody, which puts us in 3rd. Not bad. Cool. I'm happy with that. All right, let's get to number 2, which we do have 2 front wings apparently. That's great. We just built these front wings. I mean, we'll go ahead and build, 2 more, I guess. Just so we have them. Not fun. And then don't we have suspension that we can build? Oh, we're making it right now. All right, that'll be done here in a little bit. And then what else? Research 2 days on side pods and 1 day on the other one. Was it front wing, I think? No, underfloor. So obviously we'll be building a underfloor. Well, a pair of underfloors. Actually, we're probably going to build 4 of these underfloor so that we have them for most of the rest of the season. And then we do need to go ahead and design or start researching another part. Which we don't have hours for. So we're just going to be doing research just to kind of get something going. Wish we had the side pod available because I would do research on the side pod since that's the one we're not going to put hours into. Probably the other one that we would be least likely to put hours into would be suspension. We are, I think, going to plan on putting them in there, but just in case something goofy happens and we just don't, this would be the one I would care the least about. So we'll do this. Really, suspension, we're just going to be focusing on low speed, brake cooling, and airflow flat. So we'll get a tiny bit back for these other ones, not a lot. And then we will get, for the 2 that we're doing, we're going to get almost half of, maybe not quite half, about a third of our stuff back. So we do 3 of these researchers without CFD, we'll actually get that 10% back, which is nice. I think this will be a good part for us. Pretty specialized, but looks good to me. 1 engineer, still good. Any extra engineers we can pour into, I guess, whatever else we've got left. Get these out a little bit quicker. All right, there's our design for side pods, which we can't manufacture at the moment. We'll be able to manufacture it here in 4 days, which I guess it'll have to be. And then we will go ahead and start researching We'll do research on the side pods as well, because again, we're not going to be putting man hours in, or yeah, we're not going to be putting the research hours into that anyway. Side pods, we're mostly be focusing on engine cooling, and I think airflow middle is what I had decided. I took notes, by the way. I just have a bunch of notes of what I kind of went through and decided what I wanted to focus on here. So again, same type of thing. We're going to get about a third of our penalty back for the two that we're focusing on. The other ones, and I'll still get something back. It's not quite as penalizing. Cool. I'm happy with all that. Obviously, research is not super cheap, so more of these we do, it's going to cost us. But we're not going to be able to. We're not going to need to do much more for the rest of the season, except for maybe we're going to have to buy another engine. I'm sure, maybe two, and then probably an ERS. Sonata and Spinny. Well, we're trying to get you replaced, my friend, but we definitely will try to intervene here because we don't want his aggression to go up if we can help it. Oh, that looks good. There's our manufacturing for the front wing. Still got those done. So now we can go ahead and manufacture these side pods. We'll get, I guess we'll get 4 of these. And down to the very bottom end of our money right now. But it's going to be, we're about 2 weeks away from the beginning of the month. So we'll be all right. Alright, we do have suspension that we can put on cars now. And we probably will actually craft a couple more suspension because we're actually not going to manufacture, we're not going to, what am I saying? We're not going to research any more suspension. So we will go ahead and get the last 2 suspension out. It's going to basically get rid of almost all of our money, but I think it's important to go ahead and get those done. For that matter, chassis, we could probably get 2 more done. We're still researching, we're designing a front wing, right? Is that the only other thing we're designing? No, it's rear wing. It's not front wing. So we will just go ahead and max out the front wings as well here in a bit. There's our design of our rear wing right there. We can't start another research just yet. We'll have to wait till we get to this race done. Pretty confident of that. We'll check real quick. Yeah, what? These are all too expensive. We might be able to design, or not design, manufacture a... I keep hitting the wrong button. Go back. Manufacture... My brain is working faster than my fingers are. We'll manufacture a rear wing here in a bit, but we're good for now. We just need to get to this race so we can get some more money. All right, performance targets. I mean, I think we still say at least 1 driver hits the top. Honestly, I think we can still have 1 driver hit top 10 right now. And then we'll say both drivers hit Q2. Right now it's saying both drivers reach Q3, which is still doable. I'm not going to put in fastest lap. All these other ones are going to be okay. Cool. What is our target for this? 15th. Okay, we can get that. To the race weekend. Imola.
Welcome along to...
I think we're doing pretty good, though. I mean, considering this is hard mode. Yay, rain. Thankfully, the rain's on practice. I can handle rain on practice. It's rain on the other days that bothers me. Let's go ahead and swap the engines and stuff around. Oh, sorry. I need to do the gearbox as well. ERS is getting low. About to have to swap to our second ERS. Which will be fine. That looks good. All right, well, let me go run these through practice and qualifying, and I will bring you guys right back. All right, we're back. Finished 10th and 11th in qualifying, so not a great, but not terrible. I mean, I guess kind of probably still better than we deserve, but not as good as I was hoping, if that's the way to put it. Would have been nice to get both guys to at least Q3, but it is what it is. All right, time for the race. Let's see here. 25-second pit stop. Yeah, pretty even spread across the tires, so I'm not really leaning towards one or the other. Part of the reason why we might not have done very good is because I did go ahead and leave the 86% engines on. Maybe I should have put on the brand new 100%, but I felt like this was probably okay. Yeah, let's check our strategies here. I would really like to triple pit if we can. I mean, these are already a little bit faster. We push these just a smidge. I was gonna say these are gonna suddenly be faster, but we do even better than that. We put in a hard stint, and do that. Should allow us to go hard here. Still only aggressive on. It's still 11 seconds faster though. What if we did one better? So that's still the fastest, but what if we did one better and we just did medium, medium? We're not quite going to be able to get. Okay, it's 2 seconds longer. Okay, so soft, medium, hard. Not pushing the softs very much. Appears to be the best strategy we can run. Do we want to run in this order? Honestly, usually what I like to do with this is we're at 120.44. Usually I like to run the hards, the medium, and then the softs. Or actually, no, sorry. I got that backwards. Mediums, hards, and softs. Yep, that's what I want. And we're looking for basically 120.44, which suddenly is not gonna happen. Oh, you know what it was? I think it was putting on our lesser of our 2 softs that we have. We have a couple softs. One that's already used a little bit, so it was counting those. All right, so 120.44. That's what we're looking for. Cool. All right, we'll go with that. And then it'll be the same thing with you, I think. Mediums, hards, softs. We'll just add the soft stint here. Going for 120. Oh, you don't have, unless the math's wrong, you don't have the same tires available. Oh, we can't even do mediums. Wow. Oh, I know. Never mind. I know what it is. I just wasn't. I didn't have it set for the right thing. There we go. That's what we're looking for. That's more like it. Okay. We'll go with that. Both of them running the same, but we'll have to figure out how we're going to do the pits once we get closer to that. But I'm pretty happy with this, I think. And it's a dry track, so we have a chance. That's all I care about. Have a chance. Now, our ERS might dip down below 40% during this race, but I think we got to get at least one more out here with it. See what we can do with it so we don't have to swap right away.
This is it, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
All right, battle assist, and go. And already starting to drop back a little bit, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. Theo got back up to 10th. Sonoda went up to 8th now. All right, well, I'll bring you guys back if anything crazy or exciting happens, as usual.
Well, things just didn't go well for Yuki Tsunoda.
Well, we missed points today. Tsunoda spun out first, which got him into last place. He spotted his way back up to, like, I think 15th, and then he crashed. So, not a good day. Tsunoda ended up in 17th when it was all said and done. Theo dropped down to 13th. Just kind of a garbage day for us. I mean, Alpine picked up some points. Haas picked up a point. I mean, we just got to be better than Williams, McLaren, Alfa Romeo, I guess. So it is starting to look like we might slip down to 7th if this continues, but it's still it's still good enough, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We could live with 7th if we had to. We got a couple decent pit stops, nothing amazing. McLaren actually picked up the most. Oh, I didn't realize McLaren's been the most this whole time. I thought it was Red Bull. So McLaren's been the fastest this entire time. And but we're right on the Red Bull's tail, so that's something. We definitely need that money going into next year if we can help it. Not a good episode, honestly. I mean, we got a couple points, but nothing amazing. But we did start research for next year, so that's really the important part. And we get to spend more money because, you know, we keep, you know, losing things. So, you know, gotta love that. Gotta love this, you know, spending more money. That we don't have. We gotta get more money. I mean, we're about to get to the end of the month, so that'll help a lot. But, oh, well. Next race is in 4 days. Not enough time to get any new parts, so we'll figure it out. But that'll be for next episode. We'll go ahead and put a cut in there when we come back. Monaco, I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.